I'm glad to be here. I've been waiting to be here. I don't know if some of you might remember I was here a couple years ago. Edward is here with me, but he went to Entebbe to pick up a man from my church. So they're on their way. If you open your Bibles to Luke chapter 5, I'm going to read verses 1 through 11. And I want to, as we read that, there's a miracle in that passage that we always notice. But there's also a miracle in that passage we don't see. And sometimes it's the miracles that God does that we don't see that make room for the miracles we appreciate. And we sometimes forget to thank God for the miracles we don't see. Now, I'm going to tell you 2 reasons I'm preaching this tonight. One, I just believe it's a powerful message for all of us. And 2, I preached it at home and Edward said I had to. So let's read, starting with verse 1. One day Jesus was standing by the Sea of Galilee. The people crowded around him as they listened to God's word. Jesus saw 2 boats on the shore. The fishermen had stepped out of them and were washing their nets. So Jesus got into the boat that belonged to Simon. And he asked him to push off a little from the shore. Then Jesus sat down and taught the crowd from the boat. When he finished speaking, he told Simon, "Take the boat into deeper water and lower your nets to catch some fish." Simon answered, "Teacher, we worked hard all night and we caught nothing. But if you say so, I will lower the nets." After the men had done this, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break and tear. So they signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them. Their partners came and filled both boats until the boats nearly sank. When Simon Peter saw this, he knelt in front of Jesus and said, "Leave me, Lord, I'm a sinful person." James and John, excuse me, let me back up. So Simon and everyone who was with him were amazed to see the large number of fish they had caught. James and John, who were Zebedee's sons, and Simon's partners were also amazed. Jesus told Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will catch people instead of fish." Simon and his partners brought the boats to the shore. They left everything and they followed Jesus. So when we read this passage, we notice certain things. Simon Peter didn't ask for fish. So the first thing we see is God gave him a miracle that he didn't pray for. That's fascinating. And so you need to know something. God doesn't need us to do a miracle. But we need God for a miracle. And the next thing we see is that Simon Peter did ask the Lord for something. Now we know what prayer is. Prayer is personal communication with God. And so we can pray by listening. We can pray by giving thanks. And we can pray by asking Jesus Christ to do something. And in this passage we find that Peter prayed a prayer that Jesus said no to. Because when Peter saw all the fish, he asked Jesus, leave me alone, I'm a sinner. And Jesus ignored that request. And what the Lord is teaching us here is that it's more important for us to listen to God than it is for God to listen to us. Because He's God. He's the Word. It's more vital that we listen to and obey the Word than that the Word listen to us. But what we really want to notice is the miracle that people don't see. It's the first miracle in this passage. They fished all night and they caught no fish. I live in a fishing community. And the men in my community fish with big ships. In fact, a young man coming from my church to join me owns one of those ships. And if they fished all night and they didn't catch one fish, they would think God was up to something. Because our waters have many fish. And we know this is true in the sea where the disciples were fishing. There are many fish. So how could they fish all night and catch nothing? But God told the fish to stay away from Peter's boat. And the fish obey God. Now you can think it's strange that I would say fish obey God. But they must. Because they are His. And we have examples of fish obeying God. We know the story of Jonah. God prepared a great fish. And the fish swallowed Jonah. And the fish brought Jonah back to where he needed to be. So it obeyed the Lord. And we read this story. And we see that the fish avoided Peter's boat. Until God sent them out again, and then He told them to get in the net. Now the good news about an empty net is God will fill it. We have another story, though, of a fish that obeyed the Lord. Peter went to the temple, and the temple leaders asked him, do you pay the temple tax? And so he went to Jesus. And Jesus said, well, go down to the sea and catch a fish. And when you catch the fish, take a coin out of the fish's mouth and pay the tax. Now that's a miracle. We all know that fish don't carry coins. But that fish obeyed God. And we realize in the miracle of the empty net that God performed that miracle twice. The second time, he also used an empty net on Peter. And you can read about that in the last chapter of John. And we call it the breakfast by the sea. And Peter is out fishing with the other disciples. And Jesus comes to shore and he makes breakfast. And he calls out to them, have you caught any fish? And they said, no. He said, put your net on the right side of the boat. And they suddenly caught fish. Now this is amazing. They fished all night long on the left side of their boat. And all night long the fish are swimming on the right side of the boat. God told the fish to stay on the right side of the boat. Because sometimes what's in the empty net is more important than what's in the full net. God wanted to use the empty net to catch Peter. And so when we think about the value of the empty net, what did Peter do with the greatest catch of his life? When God gave him a net so full that it filled 2 boats, and he came to the shore. And Jesus said, from now on you will fish for people. Peter and the others left all the fish, all their nets, and both their boats, and they followed Jesus. They didn't even care about the full net. The Bible tells us that it's God that gives the increase. So as I read in 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 7, it says, so neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is important, because only God makes it grow. And we must understand this. If it is God that gives the increase, it is God that chooses to withhold it when He needs to capture us. If it's God that fills a net, It is God that keeps it empty in order to call his people to himself. And it's not as exciting to have an empty net. But if it weren't for that, Peter would have never walked with Jesus. He would have never seen the Lord transfigured on the mountain. He would have never taken steps on the water. But God caught him with this empty net. And we know that the empty nets can be trials in our lives and hardships. I know what they're like. I started pastoring my first church in 1982. And my wife followed me to a strange city where we were called to pastor a church. And we knew no one there. And we had no jobs. And we had no money. And I would preach. And we would eat if people brought food to our house. Or if they asked us to come to their house. And if no one brought food to our house, and if no one invited us to their house, then we didn't eat that day. And there were days we didn't eat. You can tell I did not starve to death. But I've learned this. Sometimes you preach more faith, with more faith, on an empty stomach than you do on a full one. So I'm a pastor. I've been a pastor a long time, as you just heard. And I oversee other pastors. So I can't help it, but that's how I think. I think like a pastor. And so when I look at this passage, I often like to think about it kind of like a pastor. And maybe this would apply to anyone's business. But you know, as a pastor, you want to get people to come to your church. So we'll think about that like filling a net. And so I think, well, I'd like to think about Peter out there fishing. And he's got his net in the water. And he's catching nothing. And another fisherman comes by. And he says, you need to shout at the fish. I shout more. And that's why fish come to my net. Or to my church. So Peter shouts at the fish. Fish, get in my net. They don't listen. By the way, did you know that fish in the Bible obey God more than people? We've already noticed that every time God told fish to do something, they did it. How many times has God told people to do something and they didn't do it? So sometimes fish are better Christians than people. Don't let a fish be a better Christian than you. So Peter's out there fishing like a pastor's preaching. And another boat comes by. And he says, Peter, you need to jump up and down to catch fish. So Peter jumps up and down. Still doesn't catch fish. You didn't know a fat old man could jump. I can sometimes. So someone said, well, when you go to catch your fish, Peter, you should dress just right and dress like a fisherman. So Peter dressed just right. He still didn't catch fish. They said, you should get a bus with a church name on the side. And drive the fish to the net. It didn't work. Said you should dance for the fish. So he danced. No fish. Because God commanded the fish. Now this might not happen in Uganda, Pastor James. But in the USA, pastors just want to catch fish to look in their mouths for coins. Sometimes they just want people because there's money. But that wouldn't happen here ever. Right? I think it could. Because everywhere I go, people are exactly like people. Sometimes I wish they were more like fish. So then Peter catches the greatest catch of his life.
2
boats full of fish. And they've never seen anything like that before. And all the other fishermen are coming by admiring his catch. And they asked Peter, how did you catch these fish? Did you shout at them? Did you jump? Dance? Did you drive them with a bus into the net? How did you catch these fish? He said, I didn't. He did. His name's Jesus. Jesus did it. And then he said something that amazed the other fishermen. You can have the fish. I want him. I want Jesus. And that's what Christians need to know. You can have all the things this world offers. But I want him. Some of the greatest spiritual growth of our lives comes to us when God uses the miracle of the empty net. And every trial and hardship of our lives is an empty net that can be full of God's truth. And you understand what I mean. Because the people of Africa, they understand pain. We understand what it is to have an empty net. We know what it is to see suffering. We know what it is to have want. We know what it is to cry out to God in the dark hours of the night. But all we want is Him. And we know that we can give up this whole world as long as we have Jesus. There was a time in my life when I became very ill. And they'd have to set a stool in front of the pulpit for me to preach. And as I preach, my wife would watch me with fear, wondering how I was feeling. And everybody kept telling me that I just needed to believe more. But you know what I found out? I just needed to believe a little longer. I didn't need more faith, because I had a mustard seed. I just needed to hold on to my faith longer. A lot of people in our world, they only want a full net. They only want blessings. They only want peace. They only want wealth. They only want health. They want everything that makes this flesh happy. And those are all good things that God promises. But better is to know Jesus. And so what do we say? What about the empty net of your life? Both are from God. There are preachers that tell you to claim a full net. But it was the full net that Peter abandoned. It was the empty net that God used. Let us rejoice in the God of our salvation. Let us rejoice in what God is pouring in the depths of our spirit. For Jesus said, God is a spirit and must be worshipped in spirit and in truth. So we worship God in spirit, not just in the flesh, not just in the material. We must have faith, but we must have the kind of faith that gives us courage in the times of difficulty, when it doesn't look like our prayers are being answered. There was a time I would wake up in great pain, and I would get up at 2 and 3 in the morning, and I would go into this room in our house full of musical instruments. and I would grab a guitar or some other instrument. And I would worship and sing to the Lord because I was in too much pain to sleep. And I'll tell you something. I thank God for those days. This may seem strange to you, but those were some of the greatest days. Because in those moments, God touched my soul in the most intimate of ways. And I was reminded of what Paul said. While this flesh is being destroyed, I am daily renewed. So I just want you to stand to your feet. And I want to pray a prayer over everyone here tonight. Everyone. Lord, I just pray for everyone that you will give them the faith that lasts longer. That the mustard seed, the small amount of faith, would last through the time of the empty net. Until that day that you fill it. Because we know the promise of the empty net is that one day it will be full. But we don't know when. And we don't know how. But Lord, we will pray and say, though he slay me, yet will I serve him. The Lord gives and the Lord takes away. But blessed be the name of the Lord. Make us grateful, O God, that though we may not have the riches of this world, we are able to embrace the kingdom of heaven. In Jesus' name. Let everybody shout in the name of the Lord.